How's it going, everybody? My name's Dom. I'm one of the client advisors here and one of the co-founders here at Everest Acquisitions. And what do we got for you guys today? Well, we got awesome case study for you guys with one of our clients who happens to share my name, Dominic, who's based out of the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Now, his first month with us was honestly rough, and being fully transparent with you guys. Sure, there's clients that come on and they get 5 or 10x return on investments in month one. There's also guys that it isn't the easiest. Maybe they never worked with Facebook leads before. Maybe they're used to all word of mouth. Maybe like Dominic, they're in an entirely new area. So we had leads coming in, we had estimates coming in, but there wasn't really much closing. But this kid never pointed the figures. He never made excuses. He never, like I said, finger pointed. He really just locked in, figured out what wasn't working from his point, from our point, when it came to the pricing, quotes over the phone, and such like that, and just kept showing up. Now, 2 months later, he went from being at on his best months $5,000, most months in between the $1,000 to $3,000 range, to being at $25,000 in a singular month off of $1,200 of ad spend. Yeah, you got it, $1,200. That is a 20x return on ad spend from a revenue perspective. And for context, his best month ever, like I said before that, was 5K on a good day. So that's what we're going to be getting into today. And I'll be honest, this is one of my most favorite case studies that I've personally ever done, because it's not just a wins video. This guy's not, $1 million per month or something like that. Dom actually talks about the slow start, but we made adjustments. We didn't just bring him leads. We were a team. We were a true growth partner. And that's the reason that he's in the position that he's in today, right? And we actually show you the real size of him building. He was quite literally in the car on a job site, figuring out how to handle all the work that we're bringing him while we were recording this case study. And so if you're out there grinding on Facebook, trying to figure out, okay, how do I get consistent work? How do I fill up my books? How do I keep my employees busy? This one's worth watching. Let's get into it. Right here, Dominic. And yeah, I was his client advisor for his time period here, still am. And just to give you a brief introduction about him, he's a young entrepreneur. He's been in the business game for a while now, but really took it seriously this year. And yeah, we're super excited and everything like that to get into this case study for you guys, because honestly, Dom's been doing awesome. He's been a fantastic client. And, if you guys can take the keys to success that he's utilized to get to where he wants to get to in his business and take this for your guys' own appeal and everything like that, that would be fantastic. So, yeah, just starting off, Dominic, if you want to tell, what you do, the services that you offer, and specifically the location that you're in, and, just some small stuff like that.
Yeah, so I do general landscaping. I also incorporate like a landscape design. Like I design landscapes, I build them. I do all of it from sod installs to flower bed renovations, and I can plan it out accordingly with my clients and homeowners and stuff like that. So that's the majority of
Oh,
what
yeah.
I do. I also do incorporate some lawn care stuff. Sometimes I'm not really big into that. I like more of the
Mhm.
high ticket jobs and whatnot. So,
Yeah.
yeah, that's a little bit of what I do. And I think there was another question you asked.
And where are you based out of?
I'm based out of Fort Worth.
Dallas,
So
Fort Worth, baby.
yeah, yeah,
Go Mavericks, right? You
go
guys like the
Mavs.
Mavericks?
Yeah,
Mark Cuban and stuff like that. And
yeah.
then cool. So let's talk a little bit about, like, okay, before you started working with us, maybe beginning of 2026 and pretty much maybe even 2025. I know you've been in business for a while now, even if you were kind of in college during it. Pretty much right up until May before you started working together. Just how was business going? How are you getting leads? What were the type of jobs you were getting? Predictability, consistency, and of course, the kind of what the revenue looked like. Just a ballpark. No IRS agents here.
Yeah. So I started around 2024, 2025, shortly after I graduated, and I went on Nextdoor and Facebook, and that's how I started getting the majority of my jobs. it was just monthly lawn care people, you can never rely on cutting their yard next month because you don't know if you would get the call.
Yeah.
But there was a couple of like, some older women or gentlemen would have me, put some mulch in their flower bed and whatnot. And, that would maybe be like a $250, $300 job max.
Hmm.
It was maybe a couple of jobs that I've done before May since hopping on with y'all that were around the $1,000 to $2,000 mark.
Hmm.
But you got to take in mind that, take for account that 50% of that makes the material. And so I would only get those kind of jobs a couple of times sprinkled throughout the year. And so there
Right.
was no like month where I was able to say that I made even close to 5 grand or anything like that. Um,
Right.
but yeah, it just was maybe, I don't know, 1 to 2 grand when I first started, per month. And then maybe like a five in there somewhere because I got lucky. But yeah, it was all just seeing, hopping on Facebook and practically almost begging people for jobs, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, that's what a lot of contractors and, starting businesses really struggle with is they don't really have any systems in place. They're kind of just, going willy nilly. Now, if we can kind of zone in on, not even just, because I know we're crushing it right now, but a lot of people, that are watching this right now, they think, oh, in the first month of working with us, and albeit there's some clients that first month of working with us, they're killing it. They get 5, 10x return on investments. That's not the case for everybody, and of course we're always going to be honest and transparent about that. Your first month was obviously good from a leads perspective. You got a lot of estimates, but
Hmm.
things didn't go according to plan. So if you
Hmm.
can kind of go into that and just, even say like, how did we handle it on our end? How did you handle it on
Yeah.
your end and everything like that? Because of course I love to be transparent to the people that we potentially work with and say that, hey, for every guy that's absolutely crushing it in month one, there are some people that, they do okay. They might break even or give or take around there. If you can just dive into that.
Yeah, dude, that's an excellent question, actually. So I would say that I've always dreamed of, doing sod installs. It was, mainly like, some flower bed stuff. I really thought those were super easy and like, they weren't like the best high ticket, the most high ticket kind of jobs. But I had an idea of my sod pricing because I've done a couple of them.
Right.
But it was never anything that I ever got from, leads. I've never had leads set up with anybody. It was just like people that I would find. They'd be like, "Hey, I got some extra money. I already have the sod here. I just need y'all to come lay it," type deal. So going into it, I actually almost next to nothing knew anything about sod. And so my first month, even though I was getting a lot of leads, I will give y'all, yeah, some of that. Y'all help me find the leads. But for me, I feel like I wasn't on the stage yet where I could, confidently price the jobs. I
Right.
thought I was correct, but maybe from me switching areas to DFW because I started in College Station for a little while I
New
was kind of just,
area, never
yeah,
worked with like,
yeah,
you know,
yeah,
Facebook leads before, just exclusively word of mouth.
yeah. So around the time that I hopped in with y'all, that's actually when I got into DFW area. So I was starting in a new place. I was already getting leads, but my way of pricing the job wasn't up to the market up here yet. You know what I mean? And
Mhm.
so even though I was super slow that first month, and getting the leads, I was able to within the next month find my like a perfect pricing, be confident in my pricing and my ability
Yeah.
to talk to homeowners. And then I just started landing them like crazy, you know what I mean? And so like
Yeah.
I guess for those people that feel like, maybe they're not up to their skills in landscaping yet, or maybe they're just, they just don't know that much or feel like they don't know that much. If you hop in with these guys, like I don't know. For me, it was just like, okay, I got my pricing down now, and then boom, just jobs
Yeah.
started landing out of nowhere.
And here's the thing, like, because a lot of marketing companies, Angie's List, Yelp, Hows, like, it's all about getting the leads, right? But leads don't matter. It's the estimates, and more than that, right? The number of jobs closing. When you're getting a lot of leads, you're getting a lot of estimates, and not a lot of things were landing in that first month. Like, um, we as a company, me, like your client advisor,
Hmm.
was I passive in that, or was I helping you with the sales process, or like what did that actually look like when we're not converting these leads? Just so the people at at home watching can kind of understand what happens when things aren't always going according to plan. Which I know in the first month they weren't.
Yeah. So I mean, there was actually a lot of things that y'all done. First of all, was just great communication. Whenever I hit the group chat with y'all, freaking out, because that's just the type of person I am. Y'all were able to calm me down. I know y'all helped me with, if we're being completely honest and transparent, I know you'll help me with some of the, the pricing for the month. You know what I mean? You kind of, you maybe set the due date a couple of days later after I was able to finish up this job. I don't know if you remember that, but yeah, y'all did that for me. And so y'all, I guess, recognize, the situations that I was in and was able to reflect it on y'all's half to be able to help me in, in a
Right.
way. So I'm not in a super bad financial spot. And so y'all were able to do that for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, just communication and that especially, always hyping me up whenever, I do get leads or like, and we've always like, we had the weekly calls too. And so we were able
Mhm.
to digest what happened, in the
Right.
previous weeks and stuff like that. And you're always hyping me up. So, I mean,
Right.
yeah, just really good communication is what I would say. I think that's the thing that stands out the most.
Yeah. And we're not converting leads. We're not converting these leads. We're not converting these estimates. Eventually, we did because one of the things I want the people at home to understand is like I was hopping on a call with Dominic every single week. I was making adjustments. We were making adjustments in the sales process, making adjustments in how soon he's getting these quotes out, right? And just like yeah, sure, you can get the leads. We need to close the jobs, and part of that is on Dominic over here, but part of that is on us to like help our clients. And that's just a huge thing that differentiates us. And this is Dominic's interview, but is that when Dominic was struggling or not doing the best in his first month, not making 20, 30, 40K in his first month with us, we were making adjustments. We're constantly, working to find out, okay, is it a sales issue? Is it a speed to lead issue? Like getting the
Mhm.
leads is cool, getting the jobs is better. And like, I just wanted to hear it from you. Do you feel like we supported you in that transition from, hey, we got a lot of leads and estimates, we're not closing a lot of jobs to, I'll get into it in a second, but the position you're in today where we have jobs, so many jobs coming in, we can't even manage the work. Do you feel like we went above and beyond when it comes to just, not just leads, but really converting them to estimates and jobs?
Yeah, of course.
Great. No, awesome, dude. And then going into month 2, month 3. So in June until now, we are 11 days into July. If you want to just dive into the revenue or the types of jobs you're getting, the lead quality you're getting, and even I know we're talking about trying to do all the work. So much work, it's really hard to manage. If you want to dive into that, tell the folks at home here. You're muted. There we go.
Yeah, yeah. I'm just muting it. Some people talking back here, but yeah. So the leads from the beginning were super high quality. Maybe there was a couple of them that maybe left me on red or never
Right.
respond back to my proposal, even after checking in on them several times after that. But the majority of the leads that I've gotten, I've always had great conversations with most of them, and is eventually led on to like, hey, I can't afford that right now or something. Circle up with me, in a couple of months. There's a lot of people that said, hey, they're going through some medical issues right now, and so to circle up with them in a couple months. So, yeah, it's I guess I just kind of led away from what I was supposed to be talking about, but
Right.
yeah, the lead quality has always been good, and I would just say like I would just say I don't know, I haven't really put too much thought into it. It's just been like all of a sudden it was it was leads, and then it just turned into jobs. And I'd like to say that I work hard and I always talk to the leads, and and provide
Absolutely.
them estimates and whatnot. But I guess just like me communicating with them, uh made them want to work with me. I don't know. I don't know where I'm going on, but it just has I've just landed like so many different jobs now, and now it's to the point where it's like I have all this work, and now I got to hire my guys, and it's never been like that before. It's just kind of crazy to even think about. But yeah, now I'm in the problem. I'm in the boat of having too much work, and now I gotta get my guys, my crews together, and start dialing more of these leads because before I
Yeah.
know it, if I had some guys right now, I think I'd be probably about 2 or 3 jobs per week. You know what I mean? But that's just how it goes. So I didn't mean to go on a tangent there. I was just thinking of so many different things that it's just
Short interview.
yeah, yeah,
You're
yeah.
good. Now, when it comes to like the numbers, so I know you said that maybe on an off chance you might do 5K in a month before working with us.
Yeah.
Fast forward to June and this upcoming month as we are heading into the midway point of July. What does that look like revenue wise, or maybe predictability of jobs as well?
Yeah, so now this month I'm close to 25,000 just this month alone, and it was just from the past few jobs that I just had landed. And then I guess to go further deep into it, these past 2 weeks it's been 12K in revenue. Um, so I mean, yeah, that's the I think the highest I've ever been for sure. Never would have thought, and even like 2 weeks or sorry, 2 months ago in May when I hopped in with y'all. Um, I think the first thing I said was, yeah, I want to get up to 20K in revenue per month, and it's already happened in 2 weeks, at 2 months. So
Bang,
yeah,
bang. And was the majority of that from the ads? Because I know obviously maybe a job or two came from word of mouth.
yeah, I would say about 85, 90% of it, and a lot of those jobs led to other referrals. You know what I mean?
Bang.
So
Yeah, I know. One right from your house, one from your right down
yeah,
your neighborhood.
yeah.
Yeah. And just so you guys know at home, well, how much ad spend did Dominic put into the marketing to go from being at $5,000 per month on a good month, sometimes 1,000 or something like that? How much ad spend did he spend to get there? To get to $25,000 just this month? Well, looking at it, in the past 6 weeks, Dominic has spent almost nothing on the ad spend compared to what he's gotten. He spent $1,200 to generate $25,000 of revenue. That is pretty insane.
Yeah,
Um,
that's
and
ridiculous.
I know you did more jobs in May too. I think you did about two or three, and then obviously,
Yeah,
But just speaking in the, okay, well, going from sometimes 5K a month to 25K a month, it takes $1,200 of ad spend. If you're good at closing, if you're a hard worker, and one of the things I want to highlight about Dominic is he was always so positive about things, and if you're going to be a potential client here, Dominic was always positive. He was always resilient and never made excuses. There was never one time that Dominic made an excuse. He always took accountability of his actions, and I just wanted to highlight about the guy. And yeah, I guess just kind of encapsulating kind of the 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 whole thing. Like, what has been your overall experience in working with us? Obviously our company, Everest Acquisitions, but also us as people, and just if you can dive into that.
yeah, I would say 100% satisfied. Y'all
Beautiful.
are great guys to talk to every single day. If I ever need to talk to anybody, you know what I mean. It stems past business. It's just y'all are super cool. You, Tamim, Caden, all of those guys they're awesome and always hype me up and stuff like that. So
Oh
even on
yeah.
my worst days, I can always come to that group chat if I never want to talk to anybody else and ask them for advice. And they're always there to give me the advice when I need it. So super
Beautiful.
satisfied. Like the communication is always good, and yeah, just some guys that you can lean on whenever you're struggling or whenever you're doing really good.
Hell yeah. And I want to highlight something right now. We're at 25K per month. We're going to try to scale from there. Your biggest issue in your business went from I don't have enough clients to I don't have enough laborers. I don't I have
Completely
too much on
switched.
my plate.
Yeah.
So is that a problem we gave you? Unfortunately.
Yeah, that's a problem. But there's a difference between struggling to find work and struggling with too much work. Is that at the end of the day, I'm always happy whenever I have too much. You know what I mean? I can
Yeah.
always sleep at night knowing that I have too much to do, versus not having anything to do. So
Yeah, now we're gonna move into the stage where we're helping Dominic actually hires employees because like we were saying earlier, it's cool to get leads. It's a different thing to get the jobs. It's a different thing to have a team behind you that's gonna help you hire employees. It's gonna help you scale your business. 25K per month. You know, all the way up to where he wants to be 2, 3 months from now, and a year, and everything like that. So, um, too much work is a great problem, right?
yes, sir.
But beautiful. And then man, what's next for Dominic? What's next for your company? Next 2 to 3 months, where do you see yourself revenue wise? Where do you see the business going to be? What's your role going to be in comparison to a few months, just two months ago?
Yeah, yeah. I would say it's July now. It's almost middle of July now. So in 2 months, 2 3 months, we'll start cooling off. And I've always wanted to try to see how to get into this permanent lighting and Christmas lighting stuff, and that's always been a hard one too. And so I'm really excited to dive into that new field of advertising for that and seeing how that goes. But just continuing to ride off the wave that we're on right now until the summer ends and the cold comes, and just keep on trucking and seeing how much we could potentially get next month and the month after that. So I'm
Oh yeah,
super excited.
man. Late September, early October.
Hmm.
I know before working with us, 5K was like your best month. Most months 1 to 2K. How much revenue are we going to be at as a company? Well, not your company, 2 to 3 months from now. Late September, early October. If you had to
Oh,
ballpark it.
if I'm at 25 right now and I can get the guys to help me, man, I want to be realistic, but I thought I was being unrealistic when I said 20K per month, and here I am.
Past it.
So
Yeah.
yeah, let's double it. 25. I say 50. I say 50 in 2 months. We'll be at 50. I think that's a good number, just because of the influx of leads that I have right now in the tunnel, and fairly big jobs.
Right.
I would say 50, just because I think there's a potential to get there for sure. I know we're
Oh
gonna
yeah.
get I know we're gonna get at least 35 one of those months, but
Oh
um
yeah. Easily.
but if we're on point, I think 50 would be a crazy number.
Great. We'll have to do an updated case study in September, October then.
Yeah, let's do it.
They beautiful, man. So I guess to encapsulate or finalize this, I know you've been speaking a lot about yourself, but if you had to speak to the people, watching this at home, whether they're at 50K per month already, or they're at 5K per month, just trying to take this full time, or somewhere in between, somewhere above, somewhere below.
Yeah.
What would you say to someone who maybe came through our ads, is interested about learning about us, or someone who's kind of in, kind of not, somebody who's on the fence about joining the
Yeah.
Everstack Relations team?
Yeah. I'll tell you what, I got about 5% on my phone, so I'll keep it quick. And keeping it quick as in just do it, just do it.
Oh yeah,
I've like whenever I was fixing to start, there was a lot of hesitation. I mean, oh, dude, especially being in my position a couple of months ago, it was like $1,200, man. That is a lot. But there's no
yeah,
question, there's no doubt about it in my mind now, especially after this month. It's like, yeah, there goes to 1,200. Like, okay, so when are we going to start upping it just a little bit? What? Obviously, when I get my guys all together and whatnot. But after I get everything situated on my end, then it's like looking up to like, okay, we have more to spend now, and yeah, I actually look forward to it instead of dreading it, if that kind of makes sense. So if I were to give any advice, just do it. You could be in a bad position right now and I wouldn't say I was in the best position before I started, and I still did it, and look where I am now. So no regrets, no looking back, just ahead.
just ahead.
Yep.
All right, Dominic. Well, thank you for the case study, and for the people watching at home. Thank you for giving us your attention, and I know we'll be working together soon.
Yeah.